video, we'll talk about site analysis and focusing on wind analysis. So the first thing is to understand that there's this global prevailing winds. We all know familiar with wind, and we can, we're outside, we can feel it, and depending on the day, it could be, a cool sort of breeze that can help us in a hot climate, right? So the idea of wind is that it's moving throughout the earth in different directions. So we want to not only understand where they're coming from, but we want to be able to utilize them to to the best of our abilities for our projects. So if we look in the site analysis, we can see that they're starting to explore the movement of wind. In this case, you can see how the wind is coming from this area, and sort of this building is sort of blocking the wind. It just stops there, right? Another possibility is creating these openings around the building, and so the wind also sort of moves around it and does this sort of rotate, it tries to move around the building. Another possibility is again this wind is moving but it goes and it flows through the building. Right now we're just exploring outside, but also if these had some sort of windows or openings or sliding doors, we could create different effects depending on how we position our building and how we respond to the wind. So let's try to understand where these prevailing winds are coming from. So these are another example of just of site analysis of understanding how the prevailing winds or different types of winds, they come in and they sort of become part of your design. So we go to this website called earth.nullschool.net. We can see the whole earth, and we can see these lines just moving, and it represents the way the wind is moving. So you can search for any location and try to get a better understanding. If you want to be more precise, you can actually input sort of the actual coordinates and so on. And so one way you can do that is you can actually go anywhere on Google Maps. And if you already know your location, let's say this says house, for some reason, I'm just going to click on it, right click it, and it already gives me those coordinates. And those coordinates I can also use. In this case, I already have some coordinates inputted here. By selecting anywhere, it already sort of gives me the coordinates. So if I want to be very precise, I can sort of get those coordinates and try to move as close as I can to those. Right? And so if this is my location, for example, I can see the winds are moving this way. Right? So I will know that my design will be affected this way. So the first step is to analyze where the wind is coming from in your building and what effect do you want it to have. What are some of the things that you wanted to sort of have and taking advantage of those prevailing winds, understanding your region, understanding your location, and understanding how those prevailing winds can be part of your overall design.